Well, people, yo. So, man, you know what I mean? Haven't been able to get to the cinema a lot of late, right? So I was waiting to be able to check out this one, Ant-Man and Wasp, right? Ant-Man and Wasp, a new Ant-Man and Wasp film. Yeah, I was very intrigued to see, what Quantumania would be, what it would mean. You know what I mean? So sitting down, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania finally has hit Disney Plus. So, I gave it a look. Went in with clear eyes. Clear eye, that's not the expression, is it? What the motherfucker is the expression, yo? I went in with a open, god damn it, I went in with an open mind. Yes, I went in with an open mind. So this joint is again directed by Peyton Reed, written by Jeff Loveness. I can't remember if Jeff did the other two. I don't think he did. It is produced by, obviously, we got Kevin Feige. I don't know how to pronounce homie's name. I have no clue. Right? Stephen Broussard. It is co-produced by Michael Bell and Laura Stoltz, and executive produced by Kevin Delanoy, Luis Dis Espoto, and Victoria Alonso. Christopher Beck again is on the music. As I say, I'm digging Beck's stuff. Man. Bill Pope, cinematography. Adam Gerstle and Laura Jennings edited the piece. Sarah Finn. Sarah is on the casting. Will Hitte, production design. Right, we've got, art direction, Fiat Averbeck, Alice Biddle, Dean Clegg, Gregory Fangu, Jordana Finkel, Liam Gregorianson, Nick Gushtalk, Tara Isley, Katrina McKay, Hugh McClelland, Katia Najira, and Clint Wallace were all on art direction. Set decoration, we have Richard Roberts. Costume design, Sammy Sheldon. All right, and our cast. There's a lot of people here. Obviously, Paul Rudd is Scott Lang. Evangeline, I do not know what the fuck is wrong with me, man. Evangeline Lilly, let's go with that, is Hope Van Dyne. Michael Douglas is Dr. Hank Pym. Michelle Pfeiffer is Janet Van Dyne. Kathryn Newton this time out is Cassie Lang. We have Jonathan Majors, as we know, as Kang the Conqueror. Bill Murray is Lord Kryler. Katie M. O'Brien is Gentora. William Jackson Harper is Curaz. Jamie Andrew Cutler is Zulom. David Das McCain is Zeb. Randall Park is Jimmy Woo. We have got Graham Fox as the Broccoli Man. Oh dear, oh dear. Russell Balao is the nomad leader. Man, yeah, there's just a load of people up in here. Ruben Rabassa is the cafe owner. Melina Garcia, the barista. Sierra Cattell is the waiter. Greg Turkington is Dale. I kind of think that is probably it. Yeah, I'm gonna say that is. Oh, Corey Stoll. Corey Stoll is MODOK, right? Which is a little fun bit that's in there. Yeah, there's a few other people. I did think that was that person. Okay. Right. Yes. Now, the gist of the film is this. Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne return to continue their adventures as Ant-Man and Wasp, together with Hope's parents, Hank Pym, which I did not know. Hank seems to be an abbreviation of Henry. Because, you know, at some points in the film, they're calling him Hank. In other points, they're calling him Henry. I didn't know Hank was short for Henry. And why the fuck is Hank short for Henry? Does that make sense to you? I don't feel that makes any sort of sense. Anyway, right? Yeah. And Janet Van Dyne, as well as Scott's daughter, Cassie Lang, right? The duo find themselves exploring the quantum realm after they were accidentally sent there. Yeah, wasn't a good look. There, they find themselves interacting with strange new creatures and embarking on an adventure that will push them beyond the limits of what they thought possible. Now, people, this was the first film in phase 5, right? Phase 5 of the MCU. So we know this builds into this big plan, right? We know that now, right? We have this huge new story that we're building to. Because, you know, the other films, you know, led up to Infinity War and Endgame. Then we've had some kind of standalone little bits. But yeah, it's just this new one. This new one sets this new situation in play, which, I mean, yo, it sounds pretty friggin' interesting. You know what I mean? It definitely sounds pretty interesting when we look at where all of this is going. We got like Secret Invasion, Captain America New World, Blade, you know, I mean, just all of these things. We've had Guardians, we're getting Captain Marvel, Thunderbolts, right? And it's all leading up to like the Kang Wars. So you're just like, okay, but what does that mean, right? What does that look like? And I think this did a real good job of setting, you know what I mean, setting the groundwork, right? Setting the groundwork. Yeah, I might be wrong, right? This might not, maybe the Kang Wars come in phase 6. I can't remember. It's hard to keep track at times, people. It's hard to keep fucking track. But anyway, you know, like there was a lot of talk, you know what I mean? A lot of talk around the special effects, right? Being not up to par. And I will definitely say that yes, the effects aren't what we've come to expect at times, right? There's definitely moments where you're like, okay, they're not really in the quantum realm, right? They're not really flying through space, which, I mean, look, we know they're not really in those places. You know what I mean? Listen, right? People can come up with real interesting screening locations. You know what I mean? You send out the cinematographer to find those locations to tell this story. And they can do that, do it well. But they're not going into a quantum realm, right? So yes, like we know, but in some of the previous things, it has, you know, it has looked pretty seamless. So in this one, there are times where it's glaring that they're using that backdrop stuff. You know what I mean? I forget what it's called, but the stage, right? They're using it on Mandalorian and other things and all of that. And there's the green screen and just all these different techniques. So there is that, right? There is that. But this is my thing. Because this is science fiction, man. And we know that they're going to be exploring and doing all of these crazy things. I was able not to be distracted by that. And I think sometimes that might be because I cannot see for shit, right? So it is not as jarring for me where it might be for someone else. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Fine. And I think another reason is I actually enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the story, people, you know? And yeah, I think a lot of times people are like, oh, you know, that was terrible. And it's terrible because the story just is like, oh, I'm bored. I'm fucking bored. You know, but this one, it was intriguing. Now, there are definitely goofy things, right? Like, why the fuck are they building an antenna to the quantum realm? Right? It's just like, yo, what are you doing? You know, or if you're doing that, consult, right? Consult with people. So there is that. And I think it's just like letting people off for doing stupid things. Now, listen, kids will do stupid things. But if a kid is playing with fire or juggling with a knife, right? You're going to take that away and you're going to be like, don't fucking do that. Right? You know, maybe don't say fuck, right? But you make it clear. You're not going to be like, listen, kids do crazy things. It's okay. But then they're just going to think, all right, I'll do something else. You know what I mean? You have to make sure motherfuckers don't do that shit again. So I kind of, there is a point where you do wish that certain conversations may happen. Now, yes, it is science fiction, right? It is fantasy. And I understand why it's not there. But I'm kind of like, yo, put that shit there. You know what I mean? Put that shit there. Because there are some moments where the story does get a little darker. You know what I mean? Which is interesting. I did enjoy some of the sci-fi components, right? Because I think what sci-fi is, it's the opportunity to do things that aren't currently in rotation. You know what I mean? So it's like we don't, when people are communicating, we use mobile phones, right? I mean, now people can talk onto their fucking watches and all of that jazz. I haven't got the hang of that. I tried it one time and I couldn't hear the other person. I don't even know. But we can communicate in these different ways. But we don't have to have that as the base in a sci-fi film. We can go, yo, these people are going to communicate this way or do things in this way. So the process of translation, I thought that was real interesting because I don't recall seeing that before. Right. So I thought that was good. The way the ship was flown, I thought that was a little different. So those sorts of things, I thought, okay, that's cool. That's cool. We can get down with that. Can definitely get down with that. Like there is those points when you know what I mean? Like we still have like women running around in bikinis and shit. Because I'm like, what's the temperature like in the quantum realm? You know what I mean? Because you have most people are fully clothed. So why this chick in not so many garms? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, don't get me wrong, people. I don't mind seeing an attractive woman, but when it doesn't quite make sense on the story, you kind of like, yo, what's happening here? What are we doing? Huh? But some good action, right? Some fun action, fights, and all of that kind of stuff. And as I said, look, the story, I thought the story worked. It laid this groundwork for what is to come, right? How that's all going to unfold, right? Because we saw Kang first in Loki. That was interesting. This is a different Kang. Now, the different kind of Kangs are explained, right? And the motivation and just all of that stuff is also put there. So this is interesting. This was real friggin' interesting to me. Right? I thought it was very vibrant, right? Visually, this kind of reminded me of like you know, some Guardians, right? Flash Gordon, Disney's Strange World, John Carter, right? So all it felt like it had all of these different kind of visual elements with like the aliens and just all of that, and just, you know, the structures and the ships and everything. So that worked. That worked. Is another thing, right? Kind of feel like an ant looks like a Chitari. I feel that's the word Chitari. So I'm wondering if some other groundwork was laid in that regard with this one. Could be. Could be. And I did also like how the actions get a little bit questioned. There is some doubt in what did we do? What did we do? That was, I was like, okay, okay. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, is a threat over? So I enjoyed Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. I really did. You know, you know, it's not necessarily the best film in the MCU. It's definitely not the worst. And I feel it's, for me, it was better than a lot of the stuff I'd heard about it, which is good, which is definitely good. I think it helps going in sometimes, you know, where your expectations are a bit like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I will say, there's a load of films that are just doing gangbusters. So I'm just like, yo, I thought that was trash. So, yeah, I enjoyed the fuck out of this. It's on Disney Plus now, people, so you can check it out. But it's also all over the shop. Apple, Amazon, all that jazz. And there are 2 end of credit sequences. The first one was straight gully. First one was just like, oh my gosh, because it definitely lays some groundwork. Oh my gosh, it definitely lays groundwork. The last one, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, wait, are they? So looking at who's in the film, yes, it was who I thought it was. And that's not a little bad thing because I feel it then sets maybe in motion something for season 2 of Loki. Who knows? I don't know. Well, I mean, we will know soon. I think Loki season 2 starts in June. I think that's what they're saying. So, yes, people. Yeah, I was also thrown at the beginning because we open up with this little. It's a scene from the past, but we don't know it's from the past. And I'm like, who the fuck? That woman looks familiar. Who'd that be? Right? And then it's just like, oh, it's Michelle fucking Pfeiffer. All right, cool. But yeah, people, if you enjoy, the MCU, if you enjoy the other Ant-Man films, then yeah, I think you will enjoy this story-wise, right? Yes, the effects are not as tight, right? But story-wise, acting, right? We get to see a MODOK, right? We get to see all these other things. It's fun, it's interesting. So yeah, if you enjoy all of that, then I think Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, people, will definitely work for you. That's what I think. That's what I think. So yeah, people, enjoy. And yeah, let me know. Let me know what your views on this shit are. Right? Let me know how you felt about it all. All right, people. Peace.